Today, I'll be sharing some of my experience over the years on wire soldering with you. 3 different soldering irons are shown here. The top one has a flat tip and the bottom 2 have sharp heads. The white one is a constant temperature soldering iron. The blue one is 30 watts and the red one is 100 watts. I'll be using the blue one as demonstration. Here you can see the solder wire and the holder with the sponge. The air racing pliers, cutter, a motor, and a air racing T Block soldering jig, which makes life a lot easier to hold the plug or any part you want to solder. Also prepare a toothpick. We need it for taking out a tiny bit of soldering paste. This is what a regular soldered wire looked like. I would suggest soldering here. Sometimes this part may be oxidized and it may take longer for solder to melt. There are 2 different methods to solve this problem. The first one is to scrape off the oxidized area, or you can choose to apply some soldering paste on it. Soldering paste will help to heat up the solder. The reason I'm using it now is because I'm using a 30 watt soldering iron. A lot of beginners tend to buy soldering iron with 25, 30 or 40 watts, which are not powerful enough. If the solder isn't melting properly, do not hold the soldering iron on the solder, as it will just cool down the soldering iron. So what we do here is to wait for a little while for the soldering iron to heat up again. You can also clean up the tip of the soldering iron now. Finally comes off. Now I have to solder the wire at this angle. This is where you want to hold your soldering iron on, which allows your soldering iron to make contact with both surfaces. If you hold the soldering iron in this area and wait for the solder to melt, it will take longer and the wire could get too hot. When the solder starts to melt, you can hold your soldering iron at the end of the wire, then wait until it hardens. Now I'll talk about soldering the T plug. Personally, I prefer cutting out the plastic surface with a pair of scissors. Don't cut it all the way, as you want to keep the wire inside. Then peel off the bit you cut off. I'll show you again here. Twist the end of the wire like so. Now you can solder the end of the wire. Make sure you get the solder all the way around. We can use a cutter to scratch the surface of the T block to make it easier to solder. I'll now solder the red wire. Once again, I chose the spot where I can solder both the wire and the T block at the same time. Let's move on to the black wire. We can now cover up the metal part, the red wire, with heat shrink tubing. You may use a lighter to heat up the plastic so it will tighten up. Now repeat for the black wire. Next up, the banana plug. Stabilize it first, then you can get some solder in the hole. Once again, solder the wire and the banana plug at the same time, and the wire should melt in. You may apply more solder around here if you wish. Here I'll use 100 watts soldering iron for demonstration. You can use a wire clamp to hold the wires into place, then you can do the soldering. Job done. There are mainly two types of flux cores, acid core and rosin core. I would suggest beginners to choose the rosin ones as they are easier to solder. Before you turn off the soldering iron, you can apply some solder onto the tip. You may then turn it off. The solder will be able to give the tip some protection, and the soldering iron should last for longer. Thank you very much for watching.